Hi, my name is Melissa Simmons. I attend Chattahoochee Technical College, where I am taking course number 20539, which is Early Childhood Education, Human Growth and Development. And today I have chosen to speak briefly on rote counting and worksheets and why they are not appropriate for young children. So I'll quickly start with both rote count. Well, specifically rote counting is much more of a memorization rather than actually understanding the numbers and letters and understanding the sounds that they make and what they represent. So for that reason, in early childhood education, every theorist, though their theories are different, they all come together in one thing. In one thing that they all come together on is that play is necessary in those early childhood education years. So rote counting, it just being pretty much memorization, is not actually teaching them the understanding of what they're even looking at. They're just kind of memorizing ABCD, the ABCD song, the alphabet song, or their numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for this reason, it is so much more beneficial for them to have some type of play to have involved in educating them on their numbers and learning and recognizing their numbers and their letters. Especially as time progresses, it won't be long for the 6-year-old, 5 or 6-year-old to start blending those letters together. Maybe could possibly be a 4-year-old blending those letters together. So with blending and with using play, there's more of like a holistic development through play rather than memorization. And the long-term effects are so much better for children. So a lot of people may call that formal, a formal way of educating children. And in doing that formal way of educating children, studies have shown that when you look at those same children over time, they really aren't getting the long-term goals of education that you would want. So it's really kind of short goal, short term minded. So that's the reason that the memorization, though they may be able to say it back to you really quickly when you start blending those letters or start trying to count out to 5, they're not going to really understand those concepts. In one article that I read, I used NACCE as a great resource. Really loved that in these early childhood education classes, referring to NACCE. I've learned a lot from them. I've become a member, and I'm just excited about it. But one resource that I was looking at, one of the articles that I was reading was talking about how a child that can actually count to 6 and can take an actual physical block and build 6 physical blocks is actually mathematically more advanced than a child that can rote count to 100, because they're really understanding and grasping what it is that they're learning. So moving on to worksheets. Worksheets are also looked at in the same way and also can become another way of like a formal setting, a formal type of education where, yes, you have the proof that your child is doing something, but maybe not necessarily the concept, because it's very difficult to involve play with a worksheet. It's very much considered like busy work. And for our children that are 6 and under or 8 and under, they need that play to engage. They're working on their large motor skills, and then once they get their large motor skills, sitting up, all using our hands, being able, then our fine motor skills, being able to hold the pencil in a 3-point with a 3-point grip, or all the different fine motor skills that are necessary in development. Because again, we're talking about long term. We're looking at long-term goals for the child to have true understanding and education, and not necessarily just being able to put something in their cubby that the children did that day, and they were able to write a J, but really can't identify a J, or have any idea what that even is on a worksheet, instead of writing a J 10 times. So just a little bit of background. I am a preschool I have been a preschool teacher, and I'm now in pre-K this year, while I am at Chattahoochee Technical College. And I am learning so much in this program, but I also am working under another teacher in the pre-K class. And so she and these classes at Chattahoochee are teaching me so much. And one thing that she insists that we do not do is rote counting. Now, we do incorporate the calendar, and a lot of people don't really like the calendar because there is a lot of there could possibly be a lot of places where there's rote counting. But all of our numbers that we put on our calendar are going to have a pattern. So we're talking about the pattern. And with each date that we put on our calendar, I have a child come up one at a time, and they have to choose from several different numbers to figure out what is today's date, so that yes, we've said it, and they may or may not really understand that time frame of today is September the 7th, 2023. However, they are able to see and identify the number 7, and they may be able to identify September starts with an S because it has a sound, like a snake. So I really enjoyed looking into both of these topics, and just understanding more of why those two different ways are not necessarily beneficial for children. And I agree that they are not the best way to help our little kiddos that just need that holistic development through play that all the theorists talk about. And there was a study done in Germany in the 1970s. In Germany, it was their government that actually did it. They took 50 children, and they did formal study. They decided that they wanted to see, was play education, educating through play, was that better than actually things like rote counting and worksheets, which would be a more formal way of teaching. And so when they watched these children, by the time they got to 4th grade, yes, they may have had immediate results, but by the time they got to 4th grade, those children were not interested academically, and also had regressed socially and emotionally. So they immediately decided that would not be the way that they were going to educate their children. So this was all really interesting. I'd like to name off the different websites that I used and resources that I used. I did my research. I used my textbook, Understanding Children Development by Rosalind Charlesworth, as well as several articles from the NAEYC, NACY's website, including the articles Memorization is Not the Key to Reading, and The Calendar Time for Young Children was another article that I got from their website. I also used the website Empowering Parents articles, 7 Reasons Worksheets Are Damaging for Preschoolers, and Psychology Today, where I looked at the article Early Academic Training Procedures and Long-Term Harm. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.